Well, they say pick your battles wisely, so in this video it's exactly what we do and get rewarded with some incredible sunrise views and remarkable human kindness.
So something amazing just happened.
What's happening?
So my bike needs some serious love and attention. It's a lot of horrible noises coming out the back wheel, and I think the bottom bracket is also dying because it's creaking and crunching every time we go up a hill. So it's definitely the worst it's sounded. And normally when there's little noises I can fix it quite quickly, but not this time. So I think it's something deeper inside which needs a mechanic to take apart and replace. 100 more K can manage.
It's time to climb 600 meters today. Not so much, but it's just one big climb. Hard to get excited about it. Are you excited about it?
Yes, I am indeed. I love climbing.
We love climbing.
We love climbing.
We love climbing.
Guatemala is like hardcore climbing. We've done lots of climbing on this trip, but this is like so much ascent in such little distance here. It's probably the most actually in our entire trip so far in terms of short distances, so it's tough, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
The goal of the day was a very short 25-kilometer cycle with a steep 600-meter climb in the middle, which aggravated my bottom bracket problem even more. The hills were steep and there was no hard shoulder, but most of the passing traffic was friendly and relatively patient for Latin American drivers. However, the totally unexpected happened at the top of the climb.
So something amazing just happened. We got to the top of this steep hill and I was fixing my pannier when a motorcyclist stopped and gave us
A gift.
an amazing gift. It's a jade carving. So it's the Mayan god of Takal apparently, and it's his job. It's what he does at home, is carves these, so super generous.
Very, very kind of him, yeah.
So we were quite like, taken aback and
Very sweet.
very, very sweet.
Didn't expect that at all.
No. So yeah, made the climb worth it.
Still stunned by the man's kindness, we started descending into Rabinal, a town which turned out to be one of our favorites in Guatemala. We were exhausted, so didn't film much there, but the people were super friendly and the town had a few quirky food spots. We even found a very rare thing in our room. You look like you've seen a ghost. What happened?
I have seen something very magical and almost unknown in these parts of the world.
Ta-da!
Somewhere to hang stuff. Oh my goodness.
We're about to try and take a bus here in Rabinal to Zacatepeques, I think it's called. So we're a bit nervous because it's one of those smaller buses where everything has to go on the roof, but just because we were tight for time, so it's the best decision right now, I think.
Even though Rabinal was only a bit more than 100 kilometers away from Antigua, it would have taken us nearly 3 days to get there at the rate we were going. There was over 3,000 meters of climbing to be done on some steep gravel and busy winding mountain roads. At this stage, we were exhausted, and with the added stress of my bottom bracket getting worse, we decided to take a chicken bus.
Trying not to throw up.
Difficult.
To get out of Rabinal, there's an extremely steep gravel road and the bus was really struggling. It took us most of the day to cover 70 kilometers on the bus to San Juan Zacatepeques, and it was an experience on its own. We would highly recommend taking a chicken bus in Guatemala at least once in a lifetime. Once you spend several hours flying at stupid speeds on mountain roads while the driver is texting, you will never take being alive for granted again.
So the bus driver, the chicken bus that we took, literally dumped us in the middle of the street with all our stuff, bikes and everything, and was gone. So we had to pack up on a really busy road, and in all the stress we took off going down a hill my back brake stopped working. I don't know what happens on the bike, but it stopped on the bus rather, but it stopped working. So I had to use my foot to brake to stop me crashing into a car. Completely tore my big toe. So yeah, it was really quite nasty. We're just in the square now in San Juan Zacatepecas to try and figure out what to do next. It's not far to Antigua, about 29k, but it's really quite painful, so we'll figure out what to do.
So, my toe didn't fall off after all, and we decided to cycle the last 30 kilometers to Antigua.
So we are on our way to Antigua after the bus dropped us off in San Pedro. The road from here is a little bit of uphill and then 700 meters descent into Antigua. Only 29 kilometers. We found somewhere to stay, which is good. So, final stretch. Our bodies are very worn out after all the brutal climbing in Guatemala. So's my bike, by the sounds of things. Lots of nasty noises, so hopefully get it all fixed.
Arriving in Antigua was a treat. There was a huge descent into the city, and seeing Volcán de Agua made us excited for the days ahead.
Only the cobbled streets were keeping us from a well-deserved meal.
Big burger for dinner. I feel like we deserved it.
Oh yes.
Been a very long day. What are we doing today?
We are going up Acatenango by ourselves with no group. So we're waiting for our taxi driver to pick us up and he'll take us to the foot of the hike.
And what is Acatenango?
It's a volcano which is not erupted for a long time, but it gives you views of Fuego, which is an erupting volcano, but it's been dormant for a few weeks. So yeah, we might not see much in terms of eruptions, but we'll definitely get some nice views because it's almost 4,000 meters above sea level.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get to Antigua. I guess it's very busy here. Yeah.
Well, it turned out there was no escaping the crowds, even on a volcano hike. While we knew the hike would be busy, it almost felt claustrophobic on some of the narrow sections. We had to stand and wait for the people descending to pass before moving forward a bit and waiting again. So, if you go without a guide, don't worry, it's almost impossible to get lost.
I'm really upset right now.
Why are you upset?
Because there's a guy, woman on a horse, and that guy is like trying to get that horse up the hill. And the horse is just tired, so keeps stopping, and then as soon as it stops, the guy just starts whacking it with a stick.
It's proper stabbing it in the back.
Yeah.
And pulling its tail and whipping it. Not nice.
Poor horse, honestly.
Animal welfare in Guatemala is definitely not a thing. They just don't care here. So we have to stop. We have to stop to let them go further ahead because it's nasty to watch.
Honestly, if I was that woman on the horse, I don't know, I would have already gotten off that horse and walked myself. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
If I was the horse, I would have booted the guy down the hill.
Well, he was trying, but...
He was trying, actually.
Poor
For
horse.
the thing.
Suddenly, the mist came in and everything disappeared. There was no sign of Fuego anywhere. We could hear rumbling in the distance, but couldn't see anything. Quite fancy lunch, actually.
Oh, yes.
Bread, avocado, and tuna.
Yeah, and a phenomenal view. It's nice.
Yeah.
Nice lunch.
Made coffee as well.
Oh, yes.
You enjoying the rain?
Oh, yes. Great volcano hike.
Great volcano hike. Sitting in the tent while it's raining.
It's calmed down a little bit now, but it was pouring with rain until a few minutes ago. So,
Hope it stops soon.
hopefully it stops and all the clouds
disappear. Yeah.
After a very wild and wet night, we got treated to this beautiful sunrise. The sun almost turned the whole volcano into a big ball of fire. We hope you can appreciate this short time lapse, especially if you haven't seen a sunrise in a while. Morning.
How was your night?
It was it was interesting. So we made it yesterday just in the nick of time because it started pouring rain. There was flashes of lightning, thunder, hailstones. It just poured rain basically half the night at least. And we thought this is a huge waste of time coming up here.
Yeah, and we got up at 4 in the morning thinking we might be able to go up the volcano for sunrise, but it was just like a wall of fog, and we thought, okay, it's not happening. But then an hour later, what happened?
Yeah, I just got out of the tent and it was something like a rumble and like a muffled boom, and it started glowing red, the Volcán Fuego behind us, and it started belching out black smoke. And it's been doing that ever since. Initially it was a big one, and since then it's just been kind of gradually smoking, but oh, amazing. It's just
So beautiful.
so beautiful and so worth the trip. So we're now at the top of Acatenango at 3,950 meters, and it is so worth it. The views here are phenomenal. You've got the smoking volcano there, you've got the crater of Acatenango here, and most of the crowds have gone. Everyone's gone down because they came up for the sunrise, and they've all gone in their tour groups back down to the bottom. So being up at this time is about 8:30. It is so worth it. If you do come up to Acatenango, then go right to the top. You will not regret it.
The views from the top were fantastic, and we didn't really want to go down, especially knowing that the descent included quite a lot more standing around and waiting for the crowds to pass.
If our bikes look very shiny in this video, it's all thanks to the mechanics in Monkey's Bike Shop, who did a great job in servicing our bikes, changing my bottom bracket and giving them a good overall clean.
We left Antigua and had a bit more time to admire Guatemala's volcanoes and chicken buses. Each bus here is like a piece of art on its own. We also bumped into another cycle tourist, which was a nice surprise.
We were heading to El Salvador, the shortest possible route, and the roads were busy. All the towns were choked with traffic, and the road in between was a bit wild too. The temperature increased drastically as we dropped from 1,500 meters to around 100 meters above sea level.
Sun cream. Definitely sun cream here.
Our heads were spinning from the heat, and while sad to leave, we were ready to say goodbye to the land of eternal spring.
That was so stressful yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh, it was wild. It was one of the busiest days in a long time. Didn't even film much at all. It was just so stressful with the trucks and the cars, and no one gives you any space here, and the hard shoulder would just disappear randomly, or it would like kind of dip off into sort of a ditch.
And
yeah,
there's so much rubbish and the hard shoulder.
Yeah.
I got a puncture, and then there was another bit of wire stuck in my tires, so it's like...
It's just full of like truck wires and glass, like smashed glass everywhere, and yeah, it was tough going. So
I know we're complaining, but it's just like days like yesterday is just so unenjoyable. It's
kind of defeats the point, it feels like, the whole thing, because it's kind of part of the journey, but it's not really fun at all when you're fearing for your life every time a vehicle passes. But hopefully when we cross the border it'll be better.
Fingers crossed. Guatemala was loud, wild and unforgettable. Next stop, El Salvador.